My 37M wife, 34F, wants to back out of the divorce she filed. Not sure what to do? My wife of 12 years decided to divorce me earlier this year. We did marriage counseling and just about everything else you can do to save the marriage. I love my wife, but she apparently fell out of love 3 years ago according to her. We separated in March of this year. The separation was recommended by the marriage counselor after everything else failed. It was supposed to, I guess, show us our marriage from different angle by being separated. I ended up moving out of the house, and quite honestly I was much happier living by myself. I told my wife that I wouldn't file for divorce, and if she wanted to go down that route she can file. In May she finally filed for divorce. Honestly, I completely expected it coming after the separation experiment. I was hoping for a simple divorce like we talked about before we separated. We don't have a prenup in place since we basically both didn't have that much when we got married. They always say it doesn't matter how much you love or have mutual respect for your spouse, because during a divorce there are no limits. She initially wanted the house, her car, full custody of our daughters, for $1,000 a month in CS, and a 6-figure alimony. My wife doesn't work since she's a full-time stay-at-home mom. I was never going to leave her without anything, but it sort of hurt me that she would try to get all those things knowing well that I would have barely anything left afterwards. Anyways, the lawyers have been negotiating for some time and I haven't had much contact with my wife unless it's about the girls. Last night my wife called me asking me if I would go to dinner, because she wanted to talk. I accepted and we met for dinner at a restaurant. She expressed that she wanted to give our marriage another try. Her reasoning was that she was in a dark place before, and now she understands that she was the problem. She took 100% responsibility for our problems, which is very out of character for her. Ever since I've known her she doesn't apologize like ever. She also said that our daughters missed us living together, which I guess is true. After dinner she wanted to come back to my place, but I told her it wasn't a good idea. I told her that I would have to think about it. She started crying and begging me to come back. Eventually she calmed down and we went our separate ways. A few months ago I would have agreed to trying again without hesitation, but after the divorce process I'm not so sure anymore. The other thing is I know she's been on dates since our separation. She told one of our mutual friends who told her husband who told me. I personally haven't dated anyone because our divorce hasn't been finalized. Also, I'm enjoying living single with just my daughters. Ideally I would like to save this marriage for the sake of my daughters and the love for my wife, but at the same time I don't want to try again just to waste time ending up in our current situation again. My daughters prefer staying with me over their mom. I've never said anything negative about their mom to my daughters, and I try to leave them out of it completely. If you've had any experiences in trying to make your marriage work again for round 2, was it positive or negative? Is it worth revisiting, or do I just cut my losses and move on?